I spent $79,000 for 320 acres in the most isolated spot in the state of Texas. I bought a $29,500 bulldozer. I've purchased $12,000 worth of trailers. I've spent more money than I care to think about on fuel, driving 9 hours from my home out to this property. There's so much trial and almost as much error. All of this to accomplish my dream of building a desert forest. And that's what I'm so excited to share with you in this video, is the disciplined step-by-step process and the transformation of me, a guy trying every video that I ever saw on YouTube, into following a systematic process and making the desert forest a reality. It's a beautiful April morning and I'm really looking forward to this. We've been in a hot spell and the weather is just gorgeous. Normally we would be planting seeds in this experience first rather than doing the cactus first, but the seeds are still scarifying. We're gonna make sure that we don't lose the day, keep active and get the cactus in the ground. And then once that happens, we'll come back in the afternoon, go get the seeds, and then Brandon will be doing the rest, which is getting the grass. I don't think we'll ever be finished, but I think this will mark pretty close to the beginning of the first phase and we'll be ready for the summer rains. One thing I've learned is that it's a lot easier to shovel these than it is to pick them up one by one. So I'll go grab a shovel and we'll put them in the wheelbarrow and
I need to put forró because when we listen music and work together,
yeah,
we have rhythm in the work.
Right. And what is forró? This is Brazilian?
Yeah.
I love it.
Meu coração faz dum 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 dum. É o zabumba batucando no forró. Meu coração faz dum 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 dum. Com muito jeito vai batendo satisfeito no compasso do meu peito, fazendo forró bodó. Com muito jeito vai batendo satisfeito no compasso do meu peito, fazendo forró bodó. A gente vai vivendo assim no tororó, levando a vida no balanço do forró. A gente vai vivendo assim no tororó, levando a vida no balanço do forró.
I think it's better we selected the best plants to plant here. I saw many people to start a plantation in difficult areas and don't use the best materials. Plants not growing good, they lost the light in the eyes. So I think that we need to use the best plants that we have, the best conditions, and you continue
feeling motivated.
Yes.
Coração que bateu tanto que fez dó. A nossa vida é como se fosse forró.
So what I've been doing is trying to plant the cactus like this.
Yes.
So that it catches the east sun, and then in the end of the day, when the west sun is really hot, it's landing flat on them. That cactus.
Yeah, this form we don't block the sun of morning to the seeds growing.
Right, but then over time, when these are bigger, then it'll be shading more and more in the middle.
We could.
Yeah. One wheelbarrow was enough almost for the entire line. I'll walk you through here so you can see where I stopped, but we're gonna have so much extra. Here's the end. Look at that. Almost got the whole thing. That's the end of the first row. I'll have to check, see how long it took us. We got out here, I think exactly at 7 in the morning. Current time is 10:19, so it took us about 3.5 hours to do this line. And we've already got the second one mostly open, so we should go even faster. We almost had enough to finish, but not quite, so I got to take the wheelbarrow back to the trailer for one more trip.
Viva São João, Brasil! Jacques do Pandeiro, Luiz Gonzaga, puxa o fole, Zé Adélio. Vamos lá!
I'd like to thank Bombos for sponsoring today's episode. I'm sitting here working on the irrigation system just to make sure that we've got this all plumbed correctly. 4 o'clock in the afternoon sun in the middle of summer, which means I am very hot. But not nearly as hot as I would be if I wasn't wearing this merino wool shirt. This is the absolute best material that I can wear in the desert. It sounds counterintuitive because people tend to think of wool as a cold weather clothing item, but it does really well in hot weather. It wicks the moisture away, and the great thing about merino wool is it doesn't stink. So when I'm out here sweating for 7-8 days at a time working in the afternoon sun, I know that this shirt might be dirty, but at least it doesn't smell like it. There's no unnecessary seams. There's no tag because that's not necessary. And it has nice little creature comforts like this little thumb sleeve, which lets me keep my hand covered because out here, even exposed hands get sunburns. Go to bombas.com/dustups. Use the promotion code DUSTUPS20 to get 20% off of your first order. So many seeds. I think I dramatically overbought. Way more than I think we need. These are all natives, catclaw acacia. And I also have a lot of sorghum. Sorghum grew really well last year in the dirt bathtubs. The things I think will do well are the purslane.
Yeah.
The different type of Sesbania. I think the sea oats will do really well too. And then I just bought some flowers because I think it'll look nice.
Yeah. All the species are important, but we need to know what is the place that we put these species and this species.
Annual. Trees, Russian olive, honey locust, desert willow.
We need organize together the plants that we need put in the water. For me, it's the best form to certification, put in water. We don't mix the species that the different size.
We want small seeds with small seeds.
Yeah. That's it.
This is none, regular, hot and boiling. These are the seeds that we're gonna pour boiling water over to scarify them. I'm working, can you tell? I know some people are gonna hate this one. This is Russian olive. People have very strong feelings about using non-native species. And then this one, hot water. This is black locust. And that completes the hot water ones, and then now we just let it keep cooling down and we'll add the warm water. The bees and the wasps are gonna be all over this bucket if I don't keep it covered. It's not for the heat retention, it's just so that I don't get stung by 2 different insects. Normal water now. Oh, but these are small seeds. These need their own pot. Himalayan birch. Slippery elm.
But seeds are okay.
Yeah, they look like they absorbed all the water.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Look good.
It looks like not very appetizing beans.
So now we need to divide the size.
These are both big and those are both small.
Yeah, okay.
So these are the big seeds.
Okay, let's go.
All right. What do you think about putting a little bit of the biochar in the water with all the seeds? Yeah?
That's good.
Okay. Just, we have the biochar bay. That is so crazy. We've been out here for 5 seconds and there are bees. Bees and water out here, man. If you see bees, there's probably water nearby. That's what I'm learning.
Good quantity.
Like to make mud?
Yeah.
Okay. My middle child, Ian, age 10, has been watching Samuel's animations, and that inspired him to start learning Scratch. Check out his animation. I think the idea, and Joan, tell me if I'm wrong, the idea for the soil is partially for microbes, but also to bind the seeds together so they're easier to handle.
We make 2 digs, one for the big seeds and other for the small seeds.
Different depths. The bigger seeds are going to go deeper in the soil.
Yeah. We put a lot of seeds.
Tons of seeds. We're using all of these seeds. Those are the big seeds. These are the small seeds. And all of these are just going to go in these 2 rows all the way to the end there.
1 point of water here. This point, there is capacity go to 10 centimeters.
The water itself will travel 10 centimeters.
Yeah. We use, for example, this, and I take this. Here there is many seeds, 50, 100 seeds. Why? Because I need density. On our forest, in nature, the plants make this, growing together, many species together. We select the best plants and the others we cut and put to contribute to of the cycle of nutrients in this area. That's it. Let's go. Estamos prontos.
Basically this stick. There you go. 2 feet. Thank you, sir.
In Portuguese is
Yoo-hoo! Yeehaw! See, different languages. Now we have all of this organic material in the center. What are we going to do with it?
we need to put the sticks and other things in the middle. I think it's good to make one.
I'd rather have one really good line
Yes.
than a lot of bad lines.
Yes, that's it.
So the real question as we do these lines is how are we going to find the wood? Because it was useful for going down there to prune the vegetation to get it growing, but there's just not enough of it to supply what we want to do here. But if you go down to the 70 acres I've got by the river, it's a forest. And if I buy a tractor, just a cheap used one, and I get a PTO driven wood chipper, you can fill up the dump trailer full of big limbs, pretty much anything you find. And a lot of material down there is bone dry. So you don't need the chainsaw or anything. You just literally pick it up and throw it in the trailer. You come up here with the trailer full of loose wood material, and then we can have the tractor and the chipper. You dump all of the wood onto the ground while it's still nice and big and you can pick it up with your hands. Then you feed it through the chipper and you just chip it right back into the dump trailer. I think, you know, maybe in a day you could probably have, well, I don't know what to expect. I guess the only way to find out is just to go collect the material and see how long it takes. If it's already chipped, it's going to be in perfect contact with the soil.
And that would be in place of what you've done down there
Yeah.
instead of weaving them together or making them nice and parallel and flat.
The other reason I want to get a tractor is that we can collect that grass and turn it into plugs that João showed me. So this is a natural clump of grass. Split, this gets planted.
Really?
Yeah, this is how the grass grows, is it creates rhizomes and it spreads. I could be driving the tractor, or you're driving the tractor, and then there's an attachment where you're sitting like this low to the ground, and you literally just grab one and stick it in the ground and stick it in the ground and stick it in the ground. And it needs to be trimmed first, but that's part of the harvesting process. It won't lose nearly as much moisture if you cut it. It's been helpful to go through this process, to walk on the steep hillsides and trim trees with a sawzall and cut grandma grass with a machete like we're medieval peasants. But we're learning like what's actually efficient out here and what isn't, because I've come up with many efficient solutions that were solutions to the wrong problem. Yeah. It seems wrong to discuss the 70 acres down by the river, cue the Chris Farley jokes, and not actually show it to you. I took Brandon and Ju down there for a tour. I wanted to pick Ju's brain about how I might use some of the resources on that riverfront property for the benefit of the Dustups Ranch, because it's only 13 miles away. And if you saw the episode where Daniel talked about the fuel bill,
from the time I picked up the trailer to the camp, 48.1 gallons of fuel.
No way. All of that to bring a load of mulch. It's a lot more realistic for me to go get my own mulch. And I want to show you how that might happen. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in that episode.